glad that you joined us today for this another episode. Today we are going to make a very simple recipe. It is called quick sweet potato chickpeas chili. The weather is changing and you may want to have something that is quick, that is healthy as well as nutritious. If that is what you want to do, this is a good go-to recipe. For this, we need a number of things. The recipe calls for oil, but because we cook oil-free in this show, we're going to use water. Here we have our sweet potatoes. You notice we have both the red sweet potato and the white sweet potato. Then we have our chickpea. We also have our vegetable broth here. We have our onions. You can use either red onions or you can use the white onions. Here we have our cilantro and our garlic, very important. Then we have our flavored pepper. Here we have some sweet pepper. We have our tomato that is diced, that's the fresh tomato. Now you can use red roasted tomato, dried, or you can use tomato sauce. We are going to use tomato sauce. Here we have our paprika, our red paprika. We have our cumin here. Then we have our regular paprika. And here we have some chili powder. So these are all our ingredients with our salt to taste. Now, we are going to begin this recipe by placing our pot or skillet on the stove, and we are going to add our water. You can either use oil or water, but because we cook oil-free in this show, we are going to put our water. And we are going to bring the water to a boil. When that is to the boil, then we are going to add our onions, and then we are going to add some of our sweet potatoes, and we are going to let that cook for about 5 minutes. As you notice, we placed the small amount of water in our pot, and now we are going to put our onions in there. And we are going to allow this to cook for a few minutes. And as soon as that is cooking a bit, we are going to add to that the sweet potatoes. So our onions are being sauteed. We want it to saute for a few minutes until it looks a little translucent. And as soon as that is done, we are going to add our potatoes, our sweet potatoes, and we're going to have that cooked. Let me just take a check. Okay, so that is cooking very nicely. So to that now we are going to add our sweet potatoes. And we are going to have this cook for about 5 to 8 minutes. We're going to cover the pot so that it cooks very nicely. So while we do that, we are going to talk a little bit about the benefits of the sweet potato. Okay, now let me ask you very quickly. When you look at sweet potatoes, especially the yellow sweet potatoes, right away you see the color and you think of antioxidants. Did you know that sweet potato, helps to strengthen your immune system? The bright color is indicative of the antioxidants that are present. And then we have, very important, that it also helps to manage stress and anxiety. It supports digestion. It helps to improve your memory. That is very, very great. It supports your vision. As you notice the color, the yellow color, orange yellow color, carotene present there, and it helps with your eyes. It contains anti-inflammatory properties. It also supports healthy blood sugar levels. So these are all the many benefits of the sweet potatoes. So sweet potato is one of those we call it a root vegetable. This is one of those things that you need to incorporate in your diet. It also has a lot of fiber. So while that is being cooked, we are going to talk a little more about some of the other ingredients. Here we have our chickpeas, and while the sweet potato is being cooked, let's talk about the benefits of the chickpeas. The chickpea, of course, is heart healthy. It has a lot of fiber. It protects from things like anemia. It has anti-cancer fighting properties. It prevents obesity. So those of you who are trying to lose weight, this is a very good food. It prevents things like, or helps with things like constipation. It boosts your energy as well as your immunity. It helps to lower your blood sugar. It increases, according to the research, it increases the sexual powers. It controls blood pressure. It removes old cough. It helps with nerve. It helps to build the nerves. It helps to regulate your hormones. It is good for glowing skin, and it increases, for the men, their semen count. So those are very good properties that we can contemplate on. So now let's check in on our sweet potatoes. This is cooking very nicely. So we are going to add a little bit of our vegetable broth to this. And we're going to have it cook some more. Now we are going to add to this our chickpea. We're going to put it in there. And we are going to have this cook some more. Once you start looking at it, you see the colors. All right, so we're good to go so far. All right. So now that that is cooking nicely, we are going to talk a little bit about our spices while that continues to cook. And one of my favorite spices to cook with is cumin. Cumin is a kind of an Indian spice. Did you know that cumin is very good for your stomach? It treats diabetes. It regulates your blood pressure. It aids your respiratory system. It is also good to treat things like cancer. It aids in weight loss. If you're having difficulty to sleep at night, it also helps. It relieves things like cold and asthma. It is also good for irritable bowel syndrome. It soothes the skin and treats acne. It is anti-inflammatory. Very, very important. It promotes the healthy growth of your hair. It improves your blood cholesterol, and it prevents iron deficiency. So cumin is one of those spices that we really need to try to incorporate. Now that this is cooking very well, we are going to add our sweet peppers. And we are going to add our tomatoes. We're going to have a bunch of lovely colors here. We're going to add our garlic. Want you to take a look at this. See all the colors, everything is being blended up nicely here. So now we are going to add our other spices, or paprika, our cumin. we're going to make sure we add our red paprika. We adding our other spices here. Oh, the cumin gives it such a nice aroma. It's one of those nice smelling spices. Now we are going to add our vegetable broth. We have added our chili powder and all of that already. So let's see what it looks like. All right. Now we're going to add our you can use roasted pepper or you can use tomato sauce. You notice I didn't add my cilantro yet. The cilantro would be among the last things that I'm going to add. I want you to take a look. This is looking really nice, coming together nicely. We're going to add our salt to taste. And again, we are going to cover this to make sure that it cooks real nicely. So let me tell you a little bit about the paprika. It regulates blood pressure. It is high in vitamin C. It is antibacterial, antioxidant. It stimulates. It's a stimulant for things like depression. It reduces swelling. It is also known to improve one's circulation. It controls cholesterol. It lowers your risk of cancer, and it increases the production of saliva. So paprika is something we should include or incorporate in our food preparation. There is one more, cayenne. Cayenne is known to aid in digestion. If you're trying to lose weight, cayenne is something you can incorporate in your meals. It has antifungal property, antiseptic properties. It detoxifies the body. It also helps in things like if you have a headache. It is good for your heart health. It helps to produce saliva. It's good for joint pain relief, for migraine prevention. And one of the other very important thing, it prevents things like blood clots. And it can also build up your immune system so you ward off things like the cold and flu. And this is the season when we know there is a lot of cold and flu. So cayenne is one of those spices that you can incorporate in your meal. It has great medicinal benefits. Now that this is cooking very well, you can take a look into the pot. You see everything is cooking very well. We are going to add our cilantro and our flavor pepper. We are going to make sure it's nicely blended in here. And we're going to allow this to cook. Remember, we cooked for 5 minutes before, and then when everything is all together, we are cooking for another 15 to 20 minutes to make sure all the sweet potatoes and the chickpeas is well cooked. Right? So as you notice, our chili is all done, nicely cooked. We will test to make sure our potato is soft. That one is not. So we're gonna let it cook a little more. Some of the potatoes are nicely cooked and others are not as nicely cooked. So we're gonna just let this cook a little bit more. It's nicely cooked here. So what we're going to do, One of the things you need to be mindful of though is if you mix the white potato with the orange potato, the orange potato tends to cook faster than the white potato, sweet potato. So you need to give it a little extra time because we had more white potato than we had yellow potatoes. So here we have it. Our sweet potato, chickpeas, chili. And this is a quick dish. You have your protein here from your chickpeas, which has a lot of fiber. Then you have your sweet potatoes. You had both white potatoes and orange potatoes. And then you had all your spices and your tomato sauce and so forth to give it a nice, rich flavor. This is a complete meal. If you'd like, you can eat it with whole grain crackers, a bowl of salad, and you will have a complete meal. So please try this recipe. Leave a comment on our page and let us know how yours came out. Remember again that our cookbook is available. Go to www.usemalifestylecenter.org and you can purchase your book there, or you can just email us and let us know that you're trying to purchase a book and we'll be able to direct you. Feel free to call us if you would like us to do a cooking class for you or a series of classes. If you have people in your church that are diabetic or hypertensive or other chronic diseases that you would like us to work with them, please refer them to us. Call us at 917-531-7901, or you can email us at usemalifestylecenter@yahoo.com. It was wonderful cooking with you today. Please try this recipe again and let us know how yours came out. Remember, as always, eat for optimal health because your body is God's temple. Thanks for joining us. Looking forward to seeing you